The process for making a piece of pottery. It starts with the mind, it starts with the materials, and then the recipe, and then all of the preparation of the clay in order to get it next to the wheel in perfect shape. Once it's there, you have to make up a few sketches, make sure you've got your design down, and then throw the piece or form it by hand, and then trim it the next day if it was thrown on the wheel, wait for it to dry, put it in the bisque kiln. Out of the bisque kiln, select the color, glaze the piece, back into the glaze kiln, and then once it's out of the glaze kiln, it's done. One of the things that makes us unique is that we make our own clay. We make our own glazes, we have our own recipes. We're constantly developing colors, textures for a market that keeps changing. The restaurants want something new. They want something that is particular to their business. And I've tried to understand that and tried to maintain that. So the reason that I use really soft clay is because it is easier on the hands, it's easier on the back, and when you get it on the wheel and everything's just right and you're following the lines that you need to follow, it will happen so fast and it's so beautiful. The inspiration behind the current business is the food industry. I started working with chefs and working with another essentially craftsman slash artist. You get inspired again to create something that is for a specific thing. It kind of happened by accident a little bit because there was a woman that came in that was responsible for designing a new restaurant, and she was very detail oriented and she wanted to have a say in the dinnerware as well. And she was having her car worked on next to my workshop, and she came into my workshop and saw my work and asked me to make samples for the restaurant. And that was my first restaurant job. At one point, I was resigned to the fact that I was going to give up being a potter. This was probably about 15 years ago, and I had made some really nice pots, and I was giving them all away to my family at Christmas time. And in my mind, I was like, that's it. I want my family to have these and I'm done. But I couldn't do it. It seemed like right at the time when I was set on walking away from it, somebody would call me up and they would want something, or I'd get a check from one of the galleries. Something would keep me going. The pottery business, the art world, it's not for the faint of heart. But when everything comes together, the satisfaction that you have in a job well done and beautiful things, there's nothing like it.